Hello and welcome back to Prepared Scotter. We are back here with the 2000 Nissan Xterra. I've been having a couple of P0420 and P0430 codes. I also had a couple of misfire issues. I'll go over that in another video. This has got 167,000 miles on it. And I wanted to go over a few things. I wish I had videoed me doing the back pressure on the cats, because there is a tool that you can hook up before the catalytic converter right here on the O2 sensor, and then you can measure the back pressure at an idle and at like 2,000 and 3,000 RPMs to test how plugged the cats are. The motor, I'd already done a compression test on, and it's good, and it doesn't burn hardly any oil over the course of 4,000 miles for an oil change. But I wanted to go over a couple of things that I tried. I don't use CataClean. It never has worked for me before, even if it's slightly a little bit out of spec, because this is a Nissan. It is still within spec, but it will pop those codes constantly and always. It's something about Nissans and Toyotas and Acuras, and Integra is the other one that likes to pop, because those are those Japanese brands. Anyway, so at an idle, I was getting about 1.5 psi back pressure based on both cats, and then it's 1.5 pounds per square inch back pressure at 2,000, and I was getting about 2.5 at an idle. But the O2 sensors are all newer, and you can watch those fuel trims, and it'll show you really how bad it is. So anyway, first, just to try something before, I'm going to try everything before I have to replace the cats on it, because, I bought it brand new. I really don't want to personally put them on. I'll probably pay somebody, because it's such a back-breaking issue and I've got back problems. I tried this STP fuel and exhaust stuff first. I got it at Walmart. It was about $10. The exhaust did smell better with it. I did follow the instructions. You drive it, and then you put a new tank of fuel in it, and you drive it a bunch more. Then it eventually came back on that front. So, and then I tried this Duralube stuff. It came in a 2-pack. You put in one, they drive it for 3,000 miles, and then you put in the other one, you drive it for another 3,000 miles. So, and it still came back on. So, this last time, I tried an old mechanic's hack where you take the lacquer thinner, and I put a gallon of lacquer thinner in for about 7 gallons of fuel, and then I drove the hell out of it. Each and every one of these I drove for about 150 miles, that first tank. So the lacquer thinner seemed to do the best so far. Obviously you can smell the exhaust. It doesn't smell rotten egg, but it'll smell a little off, because if you know that the Toyota and the off Toyota, like your Acuras and then your Nissans and your Infinities, have dual cat systems, so you'll have a top and bottom cat. So what happens is that if you get it out of the top cat, you'll smell it ending up in the secondary cat, which doesn't get as hot, and then you'll get this off-gassing of hot oil smell coming out of the back. But, so I done that too. So, after this, then I've got this foam to try. And this foam, I guess, you remove the catalytic the O2 sensors out of the cat, you spray it in there. I have a borescope. I need to try to figure out how to get a better picture with my stuff, so that way I can show you guys with the borescope what it actually looks like, because it does not look bad at all. It's not damaged. There's no cracks in it. There's no holes. It's not melted. And, oh yeah, this is a V6, so it has cats on both sides. So there's a cat here, and then here is going to be another cat that you can see right there. So this is the driver's side over here that we're on right now, and this is your P0430 code, and your P0420 code is on the passenger side on the vehicle. So also, I have seen and tried the seafoam down, the seafoam spray down in there, and then you let it sit, and then, you know, I just have had no luck with it. It is the original catalytic converters. Like I said, I bought this thing brand new for my wife in '04. The issue with the vehicle is that we don't drive it. I mean, we don't drive the hell out of it. It goes to town and back, and it probably never really gets hot. We don't do 75 miles an hour on the highway just because that seems, you know, you're ripping right along on it. So there is some issues on our side that obviously makes this, you know, it's stop and go traffic. She doesn't commute to work. You know, she's a stay-at-home mom. So I will keep you guys posted. I'm going to try to see if I can't post those pictures or do a short or something like that of me using the back pressure gauge. I've got a fancy gauge that can do vacuum and positives and negatives and fuels and all this stuff for these cats. That, and I'm going to see if I can't get some pictures off of my borescope, so that way I can include those in a video or a short as well. And then when I go to use this motor foam stuff, I need to figure out how to do that. There's been a few videos, but they don't look very complete. I'm going to probably do, or hope to do, a complete video. Usually it's dark and it's late when I'm doing that. So, you know, I try to do these during or immediately after the fact. But sometimes I just can't do that just because it's dark and we live in the country. But back to this foam, I am going to just remove all 4 of my O2 sensors because I don't want this stuff gumming up my O2 sensors, which I just replaced about, I don't know, 8,000 miles ago on this vehicle because I started having these codes. So I figured, you know, it is the original O2 sensors, so I should start there first. So I did. And no, not with the Chinese ones, because the Chinese ones won't give you those good, accurate readings. So I went back with Hitachi, because that's what initially came in the vehicle, so that way I knew that I got a good quality part. And I bought them a number of years ago, because I knew it would eventually come up. So, yeah, stay away from the Chinese ones. The accuracy is just not there. And with your imports, like I said, with Nissan, Infiniti, Acura, and Toyota, you know, those are much more finicky motors and computer systems. So you just got to kind of avoid that stuff. But I think that's about it. Like I said, I've kept all the old O2 sensors. So I know the computer will be pissed off, but I'm just going to put them back in. I chopped the wiring and everything. It won't matter, you know, I mean, but I think that's about it for this video. So let me let y'all go. I've got a couple of videos coming out, and I will talk to y'all later. Stay prepared, y'all.